The Partition of India, a cataclysmic event in the 20th century, irrevocably reshaped the geopolitical landscape of South Asia, birthing the nations of India and Pakistan from the former British Raj. It was a process born from decades of complex political maneuvering, escalating communal tensions, and the waning grip of British colonial rule. The story begins with the British East India Company's gradual consolidation of power. Initially focused on trade, but progressively expanding into territorial control. Following the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, the British government formally assumed direct control, establishing the British Raj. This marked a period of intensified administrative and economic integration, alongside the imposition of Western legal and educational systems. However, the Raj also sowed the seeds of future discord, inadvertently fostering communal identities and grievances among the diverse population. The rise of Indian nationalism in the late 19th and early 20th centuries further complicated the situation. Initially, the nationalist movement largely united Hindus and Muslims under a shared goal of self-rule. The Indian National Congress, INC, founded in 1885, emerged as the primary platform for advocating independence. However, internal divisions and differing views on the nature of the post-independence state began to surface. The All India Muslim League, established in 1906, aimed to safeguard the political and economic interests of Muslims in British India. Initially, the League advocated for greater Muslim representation within the united, independent India. However, as the nationalist movement gained momentum and Hindu-Muslim tensions escalated, the League's stance began to shift. The concept of separate electorates, granting Muslims reserved seats in legislative councils, became a contentious issue. The Government of India Act of 1919 introduced separate electorates for Muslims, further exacerbating communal divisions. The aftermath of World War I saw a surge in nationalist fervor and calls for greater self-governance. Mahatma Gandhi's emergence as a prominent leader and his advocacy for nonviolent resistance significantly influenced the nationalist movement. Gandhi's campaigns, such as the non-cooperation movement and the Salt Satyagraha, mobilized mass participation and put pressure on the British government. However, his emphasis on Hindu cultural and religious symbols sometimes alienated Muslim leaders and contributed to the perception of a Hindu-dominated nationalist movement. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, initially a moderate and advocate for Hindu-Muslim unity, gradually distanced himself from the INC and increasingly championed the cause of Muslim separatism. The failure of the 1937 elections, in which the INC won a majority of seats but refused to share power with the Muslim League, further strained relations between the two parties. World War II further complicated the situation, with the British government seeking Indian cooperation while simultaneously attempting to manage internal divisions. The Cripps Mission of 1942, aimed at securing Indian support for the war effort, failed to appease either the INC or the Muslim League. The Quit India movement of 1942, launched by the INC, aimed at achieving immediate independence, but was brutally suppressed by the British government. The post-war period saw a renewed push for independence, but the issue of the future constitutional arrangement remained unresolved. The Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946 proposed a complex arrangement of grouped provinces with a loose central government, but failed to gain acceptance from both the INC and the Muslim League. The Direct Action Day, called by the Muslim League in August 1946, triggered widespread communal violence, particularly in Calcutta, marking a significant escalation of tensions. The resulting Direct Action Day violence prompted the British government to reconsider the possibility of a unified India. Lord Mountbatten, appointed as the last Viceroy of India, arrived in March 1947 with a mandate to transfer power, but was tasked with deciding the constitutional arrangement. After brief negotiations with the Inc. and the Muslim League, Mountbatten concluded that partition was the only viable option. The Radcliffe Line, drawn by a boundary commission chaired by Sir Cyril Ratcliffe, demarcated the borders of the two new nations. The announcement of partition on August 14, 1947, triggered mass migrations as Hindus and Sikhs fled Pakistan, while Muslims fled India. The partition was accompanied by unprecedented communal violence, resulting in an estimated 500,000 to 2 million deaths and the displacement of millions more. The princely states, which had enjoyed a degree of autonomy under British rule, were given the option to join either India or Pakistan. The Partition of India remains a deeply traumatic event in the history of both India and Pakistan, leaving a legacy of unresolved issues and ongoing tensions. The sudden and poorly planned nature of the partition exacerbated the violence and suffering. The hasty demarcation of borders, often ignoring existing communities and geographical features, created long-standing disputes. The partition also resulted in the separation of families and communities, leaving lasting emotional scars. The unresolved status of Kashmir continues to be a major source of conflict between India and Pakistan. The Partition of India serves as a cautionary tale about the complexities of nation building and the dangers of communalism. It underscores the importance of inclusive governance and peaceful resolution of conflicts.